Hello guys, my name is Jordy Jordan, and I like to play Call of Duty video games, and this sounds like a Hutch ripoff. But one of the things that I kind of enjoy in video games has kind of faded over time. Well, other than the standard difficulty of games in general, it's the fact that the grind is kind of getting took away from video games. Obviously, there's a grind in Call of Duty. There is. The prestige system is nothing more than a grind system, and it's there to appease players like me that really, really want to grind. If everybody's noticed, well, a pose from Modern Warfare 3, I have maxed my prestige in every game of Call of Duty. I'm sure a lot of you guys have, because more than just me enjoy the grind. But when I grew up with games like Phantasy Star, and I grew up with games like Dungeons & Dragons Warriors, the Eternal Sun. I grew up with like Final Fantasy, and those games were all about the grind. I mean, the idea of the grind was more, well, let's start here, to be perfectly honest. Why did we grind as kids, or why did I grind as a kid? I was sitting there thinking about this, and like, the only conclusion I could come up with was because I didn't want to actually take the time to build a formula around other enemies. But at the exact same time, I did build formulas around other enemies. Even if I was 10 levels higher than I should be fighting Seymour, I still set up the barrier. I still set up the regain. Yeah, well, Seymour's actually Final Fantasy X, but he's the first boss I can remember that was just like, because he was one of those bosses, the kind that always comes right before like a 5-minute cutscene, and you can't skip the cutscene. I mean, you can't do it. You have to watch that cutscene every time you fail on him, and I can't stand that. That's what it ripped into my mind, because I had to watch that stupid cutscene on the side of that stupid mountain. And I don't even remember the name of the mountain. It was the mountain with all the blue guys lived on it, that Kimari was. I don't even remember what they were either. But I remember that damn cutscene because it was ripped into my psyche. Oh, by the way, this gun I'm using, this is a rapid fire target finder LSAT. And I picked it up. So you can't really criticize me for using a target finder in this case. I picked it up. Well, I can't really. Let me go ahead and be the devil's advocate here. I did pick it up because it was like, ooh, target finder. Like, I get excited. He's like, oh yeah, target finder. But it wasn't that bad. The LSAT with the rapid fire isn't that bad. It's not something I would normally put on it myself. But if you're bored and you want to try it out, I'd drop a nuclear right here. And this is part of the kills. I think I get over half my kills in nuclear with this weapon, mainly because it just had tons and tons of ammo. I wonder who the hell had it. It had to be somebody on the other team, because it's got the blue tiger on there. Blue tiger increases your damage by 3%. Did you? Go ahead and try it out. But back to our grind. You see what I did there? See what I did there? Even if it wasn't just leveling up, it was like getting items. The grind for the items. Like, I loved. Like, one of the most fondest moments I ever had as a kid was getting the deep dark dungeon weapons. The deep dark dungeons and Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, boy. Final Fantasy Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics had 12 dungeons, one for each of the Zodiacs, that was 100% pitch black. The only way you actually got light in the dungeons was by killing enemies. So you had to slowly walk your way down and kill the enemies. And every time they would drop a crystal, it would light up the dungeons. Like, whoom! And it was cool because you didn't want to grab the crystals, and you wanted to avoid the enemies from grabbing the crystals so you can keep light there. But at the same time, you had to find the exit. The exit was a random panel somewhere on the map. And also on the map, if you had the chemists move find item, you could get really cool stuff. And by really cool stuff, I mean stuff like Excalibur 2. You could get, just Robe of the Lords. Just all this really good top tier items that you couldn't normally get anywhere else in the game. Obviously, once you went into the Deep Dark Dungeon, you want to start avoiding knights, because knights could break your stuff. But at the same time, it was very cool. I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics is one of those games that, I love the grind. I love the grind. It's almost like Diablo 2. Diablo 2 is another game that's just fucking fantastic to grind. Just that feeling of hitting level 77 after 76. Just a fantastic feeling. Or even like lately, Diablo 3, hitting level 60 on that hardcore monk. That was a great achievement. It's like, yeah, I did it. I did what other people couldn't. And like, at the time, there wasn't a whole lot of level 60 hardcore guys. But the grind's something I feel like they need to come back into video games. It like a lot of games, pretty much pad stat themselves. What does pad stat mean? Well, it's not obviously not the right word, But basically make the game longer than it is by just adding stupid stuff. Like I went and talked about Darksiders just a while ago. Darksiders had an area that you had to do 2 or 3 times just to get through an area, and all it was there was just to put length onto the game. And I thought that was stupid. What's your guys' opinion on grinding? It's been your boy Wings of Redemption. If you could, check out my Angel French video. It came off really well. I was up against a really strong team. I almost dropped a nuclear there as well, but you can pretty much get to see Angel's view of it. Also, Workout Wednesdays, suggestions are open. I'm currently still thinking about it.